girls rescue, met the bar, witness said. Tears fled the head, I'm weak, not dead, she tweet, I guess she confess. She thinking less, not drinking less. Bathroom says, best it gets, spontaneous. Our stereotype, put to rest tonight. Imagine, believe, and achieve, it works. Skyline as a rise like fireworks. Smell through the bad, don't touch my.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition, Season 2 of the After the Storm, the OKC Thunder post-game analysis show. As I can tell you, we're expanding little by little on stuff, so it's taking me a little bit longer to get stuff done, but I am working on trying to speed everything up, and I am getting there little by little. But anyway, Thunder and Nuggets, great game tonight. I loved watching the Thunder. They are getting better, even though we're now 0-2. The thing is that we played the T-Wolves. Game one, held them close, just didn't make the stops and didn't make the plays down the stretch to get done what we needed to get done. Tonight, basically, a replay of game one. We have the talent, we have players, we have the abilities to get stuff done, but at the same time, we're frustrating because at the end of the game, you had Trey in there, you had SGA, so you had your scores, but it's like Trey, man, when SJ is not in the game, then he trumps and does whatever he wants and scores and does whatever he wants, and, I'm the guy, and I'm here to score. But at the end of the game, you're not the guy. You're not there to score. SGA is there to score. SGA is the one that should take over. But SGA made some bonehead plays took some shots that I didn't necessarily think that were warranted, weren't in the best interest, and he really didn't. He really didn't give me what I thought that the Thunder needed at that time. But overall, I like what I saw from SGA. I like what the Thunder were doing, and my biggest issue with the Thunder and what happened was, you go quarter by quarter, and what happened? First quarter, we were up 29-28. We were in their face. One thing that I did love was the double teaming of the Joker. I thought that was great, but then after a while, what great players, the two-time back-to-back MVP does, what does he do? He makes plays. He gets used to the double team, and he gets another triple-double, and he took advantage, and they scored down the stretch, and we didn't. And the reason why is they have veteran players, we don't. We are going to get better and better at finishing games, because the more you do it, the better you get at it. The more close games you're in, the more you figure out, okay, next time, we did this last time, let's do this. We did that last time, let's do this. So what you basically do is you figure out how to win close games, and that's where the Thunder are at. And I'm a firm believer that one of two things has to happen. Either we're going to continue to struggle the way we're struggling, or we're going to have to get a veteran player, somebody that's been through the fire, to help us go to another level. Those are our two options. We have plenty of money, plenty of cap space to do whatever we really, really want to do, but it's a matter of figuring out who you want to get rid of and who you don't. And you already know my opinion on that. Poku and Baisley, those are guys that I don't think are ready to play to help take us to where we need to go. I just don't think that. And then we're going to go over the box scores and all of that tonight. But one thing I will say, the first quarter, I loved the hustle. I loved our intensity, and I loved what I saw from the Thunder. But, part of what we were doing and part of what had to be done is, our keys to the game. And the keys to the game were simple for me. Protect the paint. Do not turn the ball over. Don't settle for threes. Finish at the rim, and play within yourselves. And what I mean by that, and, this is not something I brought up. I did this yesterday, so people are like, oh, you watched the game and do you the keys. No, I did this yesterday on the Unpopular Hour with Matt Clark, which is me, clearly. Anyway, I do that show, and before those games, I do my keys to the games. But the Thunder keys are going to be pretty much the same every game. You got to keep the guys out of the paint. Now, tomorrow, one thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to guard the three better than we did today. We gave up way too many easy threes. But, you got to protect the paint and do what you got to do, especially tomorrow because they have the Stifle Tower, Rudy Gobert, and we're going to have to figure out what to do with that. We did not turn the ball over, and you'll see what our stats dictated that. We did not settle for a lot of threes, and you can see, I'll compare first half and second half, and I think that's very important that you see where the Thunder's growing because – you look at our second half stats compared to our first half stats of the last game, compared to our first half stats and the second half stats of today's game. So, I'm seeing a trend on what the Thunder are doing, but we have to finish at the rim. God, we missed a lot of easy shots in the paint tonight. God dang, SGA, he was so frustrated with himself. He missed some shots that he's just like, that didn't go in. Are you kidding me? But once again, what I mean by play within themselves, the Thunder. What I mean by that, and I try to tell people all the time, I'm not trying to knock the Thunder. What I'm saying is when you play within yourself, you understand what your game is. And Baisley tends to get out of control. He does that stupid spin move. And the reason why he cannot perfect it, because when he takes his move, he steps way too wide. Like when my training sessions at the Matt Clark Basketball Academy, what I do is I keep the I keep I keep cones. So when the kids do their spin moves, it's about spinning tight. Because when you spin wide like that, you lose control. You do not get a chance to really get done what needs to get done. That's the biggest problem that the Thunder have, and that's what I was trying to get them to understand. Is that one simple thing? And if they can get that and they can understand that, or he can, it's going to help. When you do a spin move, it's tight. It's not wide. It's tight. So if they can get that done, I'll be really, really, really pleased with Baisley if he can start doing that. But like I said, the things that I loved about the game, A, we were very aggressive. B, we were on them defensively for the most part. We were double teaming the big fella, and that really helped us stay in the game in the first half. And like I said, what do good teams, good coaches, good players do? They make adjustments. So that being said, we were only down 29-28 after the first quarter. Second quarter, we started out with Trey Mang. Mang. I'm trying to say Dang because Dang is next. But Dang, Wiggins, Kendrick, and Baisley. And I was so glad to see Wiggins out there. Whatever reason they don't play him, I don't get it. I like his length. I like the fact that he can shoot it. I like the fact he plays defense. He sees the floor really, really well. I don't understand it, but once again, I'm not at practice, and so until you're at someone's practice, you can't really dictate or you can't really judge what's happening and why players aren't playing because you're not there. So that being said, I was not there, so I don't know what was done and was not done at that point and why Wiggins is not playing. But like I said, I love the Thunder's aggressiveness. I loved what they were doing. And then one thing, a note I had here, at the midway point, it was 40-40, and we had SGA, Dort, Waters, Robertson, Earl, and Kendrick Williams. And I was like, what are you guys doing? And, Lindy didn't play very, very long because, listen, he's in there for one reason. He's just like Mike Muscala. They're in there for one reason. If they can shoot the ball, if they're open, shoot the ball. They're not going to defend. They can't stop anybody. They're not going to defend. It's just not going to happen. So if they're not knocking down threes, you don't need to play. That's his role. And if he doesn't get a shot off and he can't knock down shots, there's no sense in playing it because he's a liability on the other side of the ball. So that's why he did not get a lot of minutes. But 48-45 with 3:46 to go, you had SGA, Dort, Giddey, Poku, Robinson, Earl. And, I'm watching it, and Poku, it's just something about him. These last two games, I don't get it. He just doesn't fit what we're saying. I like he has a nice game, okay, but it doesn't fit our style of play. He needs to be in a system that's run and gun like Memphis or somewhere like that where he can take the ball off the rim, go coast to coast. He is very good in that, but in a half-court set, that's just not his game. It is just not his game as a half-court set. That's just not what he does. So that being said, they came in, and then with 2 minutes to go, it's 53-52. Like I said, Giddy made a couple of huge threes and that. But the thing is this, is that there were so many lead changes, and neither team allowed the other team any leeway to get away from the other one. They just didn't. They just stayed close, stayed close, stayed close. You know, they get up to a lead, the other team comes back. The other team gets a little lead, the other team comes back. But we seem to always play uh, Denver well. I don't know what it is about Denver and us, but we play them really, 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 really well. Uh, but like I said, both teams, you know, they made runs. We make a run, they make a run. They make a run, we make a run. I mean, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I love that kind of basketball. And for a young team like ours, it's a good thing. But like I said, I cannot wait to watch them tomorrow night in person so I can kind of see what they're going to be able to do. And like I said, at halftime, here is the halftime score. Uh, I was very, like I said, I was very, very impressed with the Thunder. And at halftime, this is what you saw. Thunder 55, Nuggets 55, 3-point percentage, 8 for 21. Remember yesterday, we were throwing up a bunch of threes. Today, we were very smart about it. 8 for 21. We were only shooting 38% because, like I said, God, we're missing so many easy shots. Jeez, those shots go down. It makes a huge difference. But our three-pointers did help keep us in the game, so I was kind of pleased, at least about that. But you can see rebounds. We had 27 rebounds to their 25. Points in the paint, 20 to their 24. Only 7 turnovers. Like I said, I want us to be about 12 to 14 turnovers, 12 to 13, 14 turnovers a game. That's where I want us to be. The Nuggets, on the other hand, shooting lights out, 7 for 18 from 3, 46%, but 9 turnovers, and it's the key turnovers. It's not turnovers themselves, but it's when you do a turnover that makes the difference. And we capitalized on those turnovers, and then our bench was just fantastic. And of course, a lot of that has to do with Trey Mann coming off the bench. I think he did very, very well, and he always does, gives us that spark plug coming off the bench. So that being said, I was really pleased, like I said. And then what we're going to do is at the end of the show, we're going to go ahead and compare this halftime score with the end of game score, so you can kind of see what was done and how things played out, because I think that the Thunder held their own tonight quite a bit. I was like I said, I was really, really pleased at what I saw. So that now let's go ahead and take care of some bills and give our sponsors some love. Collaborative Logic. I want to thank them for all the things that they do for me to keep the show alive and running. SRB for engineering. If you need any engineering, surveying, or planning, those are the people that you need to holler at. Oak Grove Trucking, of course, and my guy Jose Fierro. If you need anything dump trucked off as far as rocks or dirt or anything, he is the man for that. And then Nafco, my guys Max and Greg Nafy. And then last, of course, but not least, is Y&B. Family owned and operated since 1912. The bank that makes things happen. Yes, they do. They're an equal housing lender, member of the FDIC, and we want to thank them for their sponsorship of our remote live streams at women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. We appreciate that. But by all means, you can pre-qualify online for any loans, boats, cars, houses, anything like that. Those are the people that you want to holler at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com if you've got any needs for any loans, or you can just go in and see the guys. If that's what you want to do, you can go inside and see them, and they'll be more than happy to take care of you, whether that's Nathan Taylor, Joe Horn, Carson Wright, any of those, or you can go see Carolyn and Randy and Kent. That's kind of up to you. They'd probably love to see you and say hi to them and let them know, hey, we heard about you on After the Storm, or we heard about you on The Unpopular Hour. Man, that would be fantastic. I'd appreciate that. Make us look a little good. But anyway, like I said, okay, the beginning is 55-55. Going into the third quarter, we get outscored 33-30 in that quarter. And how did that happen? Well, it happened simply because they were just playing better than us. They were playing more soundly. They were taking care of the basketball. They were doing things that we were not doing, which allowed them to score points, get some easy baskets and stuff that, man, you know, the whole thing is that it's about matchups and about lineups. And you can see that Coach D is trying to figure out which lineups work best. But when I look at our score line, we had 29, 26, 30, and 32. So what did we do? We slowed down in the second and third quarter. But in the first quarter, we started strong, and then we ended strong. So what I liked about the second half is we scored 30 and 32, third quarter, fourth quarter. Okay, that's 62 points. And part of what we said is if the Thunder are going to be competitive, the Thunder have to do several things. One, you got to hit wide open shots. Two, you can't give up a bunch of threes that are just uncontested. Three, you have to be able to protect the paint and keep people out the paint and win or stay close in the rebound or points in the paint battle. You have to stay close on those things. And then fourth and most importantly, the way that we score has to be consistent. And I liked what I saw, and we'll talk about that, and we'll go over the box score here in a minute, and then you can see for yourselves what I've been saying, and this is what I've been looking for. And if we consistently are scoring 117 points, if we are consistently shooting the ball the way we're shooting the ball in three, if we are consistently playing defense the way we're doing, if we are consistently cutting down on turnovers, the Thunder will be more successful. It's just the way it is. But, we have to be in that 110 to 116, 17 range. But I promise you, if we're scoring 117, 114, 115, 116 points, we're going to win more than 26 and a half games. And I think now after Chet got hurt, it's 23 and a half or something like that. But I promise you we're going to win more than that. Okay? We're going to win more than that. Our schedule is kind of heavy. Like I said, tomorrow at 7 o'clock, we're going to be playing the Minnesota Timberwolves and our Thunder home opener. I'm excited about that to watch them in person because, like I said, I want to see what they do in person. I want to see how they react. I want to see how they move. Because on TV you can't really get a good feel for what's happening because the screen is so small. Whereas you're in person, I can look down club level. We our seats. Thank God, our seats are in club. And we can look down and I can view the whole court. I can see why, like, okay, you're over here, your man's over here. Why are you so close to him? Why are you not over there? If he's a shooter, yeah, you stay close to him because you have to be 1 to 2 steps away so you can get there if they do get the ball to get a hand in their face. But if it's not a shooter, then why are you guarding him? You want to come off and help in the lane, try to get your hand in the passing lane. If you come, you help, and you recover and get your hand up. So that being said, let's go and let's look at the Thunder box scores because I think that part of my issue is, like I said, is who's scoring and why. And then we're going to break down each player and we're going to talk about their scoring and then we're going to do the end of game stuff and compare the first half to the second half. But of course, SGA is doing what SGA does. He shot 23 times the other first game. He shot 24 times, so he's consistent. 28 points he had 30. Like I said, he had 32 the other night, and he's had 32, which is 11 of his last 14 games or something like that. He's had at least 30 points. But anyway, 11 for 24, 1 for 5. He made some errors at the end of the game that absolutely killed us. Took a 3-point shot. I'm like, bro, you're 1 for 5. You got to know if your 3-point game is not on, why, you got to take it off and do your bread and butter. What's your bread and butter? Taking people off the bounce, getting to the basket, kicking it to guys, especially Robinson Earl. I like the fact of what he's doing. He understands his role. He understands that he is knocking down the 3, 2 for 4, and so is Muscala. And we'll talk about that in detail here in a minute. 3 rebounds, 5 turnovers, 7 assists, no blocks. Then here comes Giddey. And I told you, what do I want from Josh? I want Josh shooting 15, 16, 17 times a game. That's what I want from Josh. Up to 19 times. That's what I want. And when you look at this, who was the first leading scorer? Who shot the most? SGA. Who was our second leading scorer? Josh Giddey. Who shot the most points? Who shot the most? Him. Then you got Dort. And like I said, I don't want Dort shooting the ball that much. I want him focusing on defense. But after last year, he got a taste of scoring. He got his $90 million, and what does he think? Oh, they're paying me that much because I can score. No, they're paying you that because we need somebody you to D up somebody on the best player on the other team. That's why we paying you that much money, and we needed the salary cap hit. We were in trouble. So we didn't pay you to come out here and score a bunch of points. 1 for 7 from three. You're not a 3-point shooter. I've been saying this for a year. You're not a 3-point shooter. He's just not. And you look at his stats. He's now 2 for 13 from three. Dude, quit shooting the ball. And you're in radio. Oh, well, they're in a slump. No, he can't shoot. Okay, can't shoot. Stop it. 3 for 13 from the field, which means what? He was 2 for 6 inside the mid-range area, and then 1 for 7. He did have 7 rebounds, only 2 turnovers, 4 assists. I like that. He was facilitating tonight. I like that. Robinson Earl, what did I say about him? 10 points. Love the fact we got 10 out of him. 4 for 6. I do, like I said, I want him to shoot at least 8 times a game, I think. I'm glad he's up. Doubled is from yesterday, from the first game, but I want him to be around 8 shots a game. 2 for 4, I think 3 for 6. 3 for 5 from 3 is just perfect for him. He does need to grab more rebounds, though, but he has a big job in boxing out and putting his body on the big fella, the Joker, tonight, and that's just a tough task. And like I said, he had a triple-double, so it's just tough to do anything with him. There's a reason why he's the 2-time defending MVP in the league. But anyway, 2 turnovers, which is okay. I'm not overly upset about that at all. Poku, 0 points, only 1 shot. It was terrible what he shot. 1 rebound. He only played about 12 minutes. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what they're seeing, but hopefully they're seeing what I'm seeing and what all you all are seeing. The guy is just not ready to play. He does not fit in with our scheme. He just doesn't. I think he needs to be on a team, like I said, Memphis or something like that, or the Wizards. Somebody runs up and down the court because he'd be fantastic in open court because he's 6'11". He's got great skills as far as handling the ball, and he's very good at that. It's just a half-court set that he's just not very good at. He has put on some weight, but it's just a half-court set that just absolutely beats him up, and he just does not fit well with what we're trying to do. Now, is he going to play a lot more tomorrow? I think so, because you almost have to have his height to be in there to deal with Rudy Gobert. But, again, he is so little as far as his physicality. He's not physically built up enough to do anything with him. Then, of course, after that is Trey Mann. 13 points, 5 for 11, 2 for 5. At the end of the game, bro, you're not the guy to shoot the ball. You're not facilitating when SGA is on the floor. You can facilitate when Josh is on the floor. When SGA is on the floor, he should touch the ball, and that's the thing that SGA is learning. Dude, you got to have the ball every time at the end of the game. At the end of the game, in the last 3 minutes, you must put pressure on the defense every time. Sometimes it's scoring. Sometimes it's setting up your other guys for shots. But you have got to do that and be more consistent with keeping the ball in your hands and not letting other people do that. In other words, like I said, the key to the game, playing within yourselves. Trey, 5 for 11, 2 for 5 from 3. He did have 4 assists and 4 rebounds. Don't really care about the turnovers. Not that big of a deal to me. Dang, 0 for 2. He's 0 for 5 for his first 2 games. I see him being aggressive and trying to score. I can see he does have some abilities. 3 to 4 first-round draft picks ability, negatory. Right now, no. Now, will that happen later on down the road? Possibly. We shall see. Baisley, 6 points, 2 for 4, 2 for 4. I'm just tired of tooting that horn. It's ridiculous. I was glad to see Aaron Wiggins in the game. He was a DNP. Game 1, 5 points, 1 for 3, 1 for 2, 6 rebounds. I just like his length on D. I like his athleticism. And anytime we play athletic teams, he's got to get a lot of minutes simply because he is athletic. Kendrick Williams, 3 points, 1 for 2, 3 rebounds. Like I said, I don't understand why they paid him all that money. I think he's a good little player, but I just don't get it. I just don't see it. I really, really, really don't see it. I don't understand it. But, you got to trust Sam Presti, and I trust Sam. After I'm getting to know him a little bit more, I trust him, and I believe in what he's doing, and I got to have his back on that. Mike Muscala, man, fantastic what he did tonight. 18 points, 6 for 10, 4 for 7. It's what he does. He knocks down threes. He's there to be wide open and knock down threes. Our girl Cassidy Johnson lives behind her. And she goes, yeah, he's always out there meditating on his back deck. And I was like, hey, I can understand why. The meditation was in full effect today. 18 points, we need that. And then now you look at the Thunder of a starting five, okay? You had 28-19, 13-10, 0 from Poku, but, he's starting, whatever. Trey Mann in there at 13, and then Muscala. So that gives you 6 guys in double figures, and the key is the right 6 guys, okay? Now I would like for Wiggins or Kendrick to be that extra guy up there that averages about 10. We need that. But if they're 9-ish, 8, 9-ish, I'm perfectly comfortable with that, with either one of them doing that. I'm perfectly comfortable with those guys being around that range. I think it's fantastic. I think it's exactly what the Thunder need. So now let's do the final end of game box score. The final score: Thunder 117, Nuggets 122. Oklahoma City ended up being 15-37 from 3-point range, 45%. And we will compare, as soon as we go through this, I'm going to compare the first half, second half, so you can kind of see what I was talking about. 46 points in the paint, love that. 12 turnovers, remember we had 7 at half, love that. Cut down on turnovers the second half, which obviously kept us in the game and allowed us to score 30 points a game, which if we're close, 27, if we're averaging 28 and a half to 29 points a quarter, we'll be more than fine. We will beat people. We will beat more than 23 games, win more than 23 games. I can promise you that. Nuggets 20 for 38. They just absolutely murdered us from 3. And we'll just go back and, like I said, you'll compare. And we just gave them too many wide open shots. They would just knock them down, and they should. They're at home. Just like tomorrow, if we're wide open, we should knock down shots. Why? Because you're at home. Okay, you should be able to shoot better at home. It is what it is. But the Thunder, you can see how much our numbers went up, or you will see numbers from first half to second half. Bench scoring, Thunder 47, Nuggets 33 is like no surprise, simply because Muscala and Trey Mann, just between those two, that's 31 of the 47, if you just between those two. So it was kind of cool watching and seeing what that happened. But let's compare the first half to the end of the game. Okay, first half, Thunder 8 for 21, finished 15 for 37. Okay, so that meant what? We were 7 for 16 the second half. 7 for 16. That's damn near 50%. Okay, we got to shoot that good in order to stay in games. You can see 38% because we were missing a lot of shots, but look, we were still in the game. And compared to 45%. Why? Taking better care of the ball, taking better shots, taking advantage of the opportunities. We just could not defend them on the 3. So you look at their 3-point percentage, they made 13 of 20 threes the second half. You just can't give them that. 49% for the field goal percentage. The defense just broke down on us the second half. But what did we do? We stayed in. We played hard. We did all the little things that we needed to do. So I'm proud of what the Thunder did. But like I said, look at the adjustments. You can see first half to second half. We are getting better. First game, you check the first half to the second half. Coach D, they made some great adjustments, and the Thunder got allowed to come back in, down 16, came back because of the adjustments the coaches made. And I believe if we had Wiggins playing in that game, it would have been a lot better. So it's going to be interesting to see who he plays tomorrow and what's going to happen. But when you look at bench scoring, we outscored them. They had 20 points in the second half. In bench scoring, we had 22, so we outscored them only by 2 the second half because they came out and they were just firing it in just from all over the place. But for us to only think about this. They shot 20 for 38 from 3, and we lost by 5. And the game was really closer than the score is telling you. The game was closer than that. So I love what the Thunder are doing. I'm extremely happy for our team. I am so excited about tomorrow, 7 o'clock, against the T-Wolves at Paycom. Thunderdome. Let's turn it back into Thunderdome. Okay, where it's loud, it's rowdy. Everybody come to the game. Support the team. Let's go. We got a nice squad. I'm telling you. Everybody I've talked to, I've just told them, dude, our squad is nice. It really is. We've got a nice squad, dude. We're not bad at all. I love what we're doing. I love where we're growing. I really, really do. So, that being said, I'm hoping to see everybody tomorrow night at Paycom. Don't be late. Be there. Enjoy the game. And let's go. Let's go Thunder. All right? Let's go Thunder. So, everybody be safe. Get some good rest tonight. Go to church in the morning. Give God some love.